Hello, hello, hello.
Hey guys.
We are still Diamonds.
I'm Shell.
And I'm Kat.
And we're coming back at you with another episode.
We are coming
good.
back. Yes, we are. I don't know how many times we done had to stop and start again, but that's okay.
I'm telling you. Hope everybody's had a great week. I've had an awesome week. What about you?
Yeah, we've had a good week. It's filled with activities and work and exercise. So it's always good, right?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm trying to do better on the exercise next week too. I mean, I only got one day in, but I'm gonna try to start upping it up now.
Right.
Oh my gosh, speaking of exercise, I know this is completely off topic, but I actually found this app. I have to show it to you because I can't remember it, but like it does all kinds of dance.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs though, but I found it as I was scrolling through Instagram.
Oh, okay.
But
That's cool.
yeah. Anyway, and you can do it from home, so I'll show you after.
It's always good, especially when you have a busy life and
I'm telling you.
can't get out sometimes. You know?
I don't know how some people are able to record daily and have all these episodes ready, and we struggle to find time to record one. So, like,
it's hard.
props to all the content creators out there.
Right, and sometimes there'll be like 5 of them.
I know,
So
right?
how do you get your schedules to work out that you're all able to record? Because just the two of us with everything that goes on.
And I don't even have kids. I just feel like, oh my gosh.
It's hard. It's hard. So anyway, we are going to be talking about a movie today, giving a review, or kind of a review, of, drumroll please.
Dang, I couldn't even do it right. Okay, now go.
The Woman King.
Woo!
So, truth be told, I watched The Woman King.
Truth be told, I didn't. Not yet.
Yeah, you know, life gets in the way. So that's okay.
I was
That's
trying
all I
to.
say. That's okay.
Things came up, I'm telling you.
Right.
Every time I think I was going to be able to go at like an appointed time, something happened. So, my apologies. I haven't seen it yet. But I did do some research. So, I'm not empty-handed.
Right. So, this podcast is basically going to be about some takeaways that I found were interesting or maybe had a message in the movie. And then Shell is going to give a perspective on kind of like some research she did, history, and just about how the movie was made, facts, non-facts, stuff like that. So
I didn't do all that, but we'll see what I got.
something like that. Well, something like that. Something, you know what I mean. But anyway, I guess I'll start by saying that The Woman King is a movie that was released on September the 16th, and it stars Viola Davis, who I must say did an amazing job in her portrayal.
She's an amazing actor. I mean, from TV to film to stage, she's that girl.
Right. Right, and I saw some like videos and previews about like the exercise and activities they had to do to kind of get their bodies ready for this movie, and it was kind of intense. And like when I saw her like in the movie, like she looked very much in shape.
She's over 50.
Yeah, she was very much in shape. So like kudos to her for this amazing portrayal in this movie.
Yes.
But anyway, I thought we may be able to start with just some history of the Dahomey Kingdom that is based in Africa. Are you able to give a little history on that, show?
Yeah, so basically the Dahomey was a kingdom in Western Africa, which is now southern Benin. I think that's, yes. And my facts are coming from Britannica, so just let you know, it is a reputable source. But anyway, they flourished in like the 18th and 19th centuries, which, if you don't know, the 18th century would be like 1700s, 19th century would be 1800s. And I'm just going to read this one part here. According to tradition, at the beginning of the 17th century, 3 brothers vied for the kingdom of Aleda, which, like neighboring Wida, now Ouida, I might be butchering these names, but Anyway, they had grown rich on the slave trade. So basically, like three brothers, and the Dahomey is like a culmination, I believe, of these three areas. And I will say this, that I did find, which I don't know if they portrayed it in the movie, but this was a slave trading nation.
Yeah, they did do a little bit about that in the movie, for sure. And then it showed, like, for example, you said that there were three brothers in like neighboring tribes or kingdoms or whatnot, and it kind of showed, like, early in the movie, like the Agoji, which is the warrior women tribe that this movie is based off of. It showed them, and they also had men there, but they were not as dominant or prominent in the role. But they showed the Agoji women going around and basically battling different people, and then from those different battles, they would come home with like different people. Some of them were enslaved, some of them, like the stronger ones, were recruited for, in my opinion, they were recruited to join the Agoji tribe, to be trained to be warriors alongside the people who were just fighting against them. So that kind of ties into what you were saying.
Yeah, and I believe they were also kind of, my notes here from Britannica says that these tribes all pay tribute to the Yoruba kingdom of Oyo. I think that's how you say it.
How do you spell it?
Oyo. I think it's Oyo. Who they would later defeat, like in history, like on down the line, they would later defeat them. But and it was an absolute monarchy, so they definitely had a king that called all the shots. And I don't know if that was portrayed in the movie or not, but
yeah, there was a lot of the kings in the movie, so yes.
Yeah, this was kind of like so from my reading, this kingdom was really kind of about that life, so to speak. They were like I said, they made most of their fortune off of, unfortunately, off of slavery. This was during the slave trade. So I mean, and like I said, it was an absolute monarchy. So I mean, one person pretty much called all the shots, and according to as you were saying, how this actual women warriors fit in. I haven't, in my reading, I didn't read too much about where they actually came into play, so I'm not even sure about that. But yeah,
you mean like within the tribe?
Yeah, like where they kind of fell into the tribe.
I'm not sure. Like, I just know when the movie started, they were there, so it didn't show like how they were developed. It showed like how they were trained. Like they would train each other, start with small weapons, and then eventually graduate to heavier weapons and gunpowder and things like that. But it didn't show like how they were actually formed. It showed mainly their training.
Hence further research, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I did find interesting about this, the creation of this movie, was the fact that it is pretty much women. Not pretty much, it's women led. So the director, Gina Prince Bythewood, is directed it, and then the writing credits are a Dana Stevens, a Maria Bello, and of course, I don't know if this is well known, but Viola Davis, I believe it's through her production company that this movie was actually created. So, I mean, a lot of female power there. So that was really cool. I will say too that from my kind of readings and things, that it kind of got a lot of praise, but it also got a lot of kind of stuff. And I will say, because the women who wrote it, of course, are white. I'm not sure of Gina Prince Bythewood. I'm not sure of her nationality, actually. But, she's black, I think. But she did Love and Basketball, which is one of my favorite movies ever. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, it got a lot of pushback because I guess a lot of kind of criticism because of the historical depictions of the movie. A lot of people are saying that it's not factual. But then again, I say all Hollywood takes, liberties with facts, right? Because at the end of the day, they want the movie to sell, right? They need it to look impressive. So, you see that in Amistad. You saw that with Django. Quentin Tarantino took his own liberties with that film. You see it all the time. So I don't know why the big to-do about that. I think I mentioned earlier to her off camera that people shouldn't be getting their history from movies anyway, right? Movies don't start as movies 90% of the time. They're pulled from a book, which is where you should be getting your knowledge from anyway, right? You should be going and reading up on it. Like the movie did what it's supposed to do, and that it got you interested to want to know who are the Dahomey, what was the Dahomey, and it got you. Hopefully, it will get you to go pick up a book and read, or do your research in Britannica and find out where they came from, or what they were about. Even the location. Because that's education, right? That's knowledge. So I feel like that kind of criticism shouldn't happen. As far as it being, written by two white women, they were just. Everybody's entitled to be an artist. Everybody's entitled to be an author. Like, they just wrote a book, right? Like, I feel like the criticism, if it was written by someone who was black, would people be as critical? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but anyway, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Right. It definitely made me want to do more research on the Dahomey, because I had no idea anything about this tribe. It made me want to do research. In fact, that's what I did after I watched the movie, knowing that we were going to be doing a podcast or talking about it. It made me want to know more about it. I had no idea it was not 100% factual after I watched the movie, but I had an idea of what the tribe was about just based on watching the movie. So and I still haven't looked up many facts on the movie, but I'd like to look up things about the movie where I can see differences in how it was portrayed in the movie and how it actually happened in reality. But back to the movie, there are a lot of messages in the movie, I feel like. One, for example, near the beginning of the film, is with the character, I believe her name is Nawi. It's Nawi. She was kind of like a older teenager girl in the movie. And she was an orphan, and her father tried to marry her off to men in their tribe or kingdom. I don't know what it's called, but one or the other. But basically, he tried to marry her away, and there have been several attempts, but only one of them was portrayed in the movie, but they talked about the others. Now, this one specific occasion, there was a man from town. I believe he was someone who was wealthy, and the father wanted to marry her to this guy, and he came to her and he's very abusive towards her. I think he even slapped her in the film, and then she retaliated and when tried to slap him back kind of thing. And I guess he was so surprised that he went and fell to the ground, and he got angry, this man, saying, I don't want to marry her. She's not going to listen to me, basically. But Nawi, the character, she kind of says this strong statement. She says, I will not marry a man who beats me. And she knew just from looking at him in this instant, they had only met moments before, but she knew he's not someone that she wants to be with. She doesn't want to marry him. And then I feel like her character portrays a strong woman who will not just accept what comes to her. she proves that with this statement that she's not going to marry a man that beats her, that she's willing to fight against the authority, which is her father, and she's going to fight against what goes, like just going with whatever he wants. She wants to go against it, which I think is like a powerful statement for not only women but anyone, like to fight against like what an authority figure wants you to do. Like you have to be strong enough to go against that, to fight
against
for,
oppression.
Right. To fight for what you truly believe. So that's one of the messages that I feel was in the movie, that kind of made me go like like, you know, those moments where like that was like deep, you know.
Right.
But
I will say, Rotten Tomatoes, which, you know, they give their review of every movie, a reputable source, they gave it a 94%. So, I mean, that's really high. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen a movie get rated so high. But, I mean, obviously, it's, you know, probably a very well done movie. Like I said, I haven't seen it just yet, but I am nonetheless very excited to see it. I will say that I think it's quite beautiful to see the depiction of an African culture. Again, we're married into them, so I'm like, I go hard for you know, for my people now. But I think that's beautiful, and I think too, like, just the fact that it's women led, I think that's like a very strong statement to see, you know, us out there, black or white, you know, females really taking the lead on such a powerful powerful movie period, and doing things, and also too, is it gonna stop? Okay. Also too, to be seeing representation, like more and more, you know, we're seeing movies that are representing, that we're seeing us, you know what I'm saying, in it, and I think that's really beautiful. There's another movie, Ariel, The Little Mermaid, that's, you know, about to come out with Hailey Bailey. Which I think is awesome. And the other cartoon that's coming. Awaju.
That means what did you know
The Future or something like that, isn't it? I think it's I can't remember.
I'll look it up. Let me look it up really quick. So now I sent it to like everybody I know. I was so excited about it.
I told my husband about it. I was like,
I
babe.
sent it to my husband. I was like, ooh.
I said, this is coming out. Like,
I knew I sent it to my husband, so I'm gonna look and see where.
But yeah, it's like set. So that movie is going to be set. That cartoon is going to be set in the future Lagos, Nigeria. So
ooh.
I think that's really cool. Yeah, I don't remember what it meant.
Okay, yep, you're right. It says it roughly translates to the future in Yoruba.
I was right. Okay. Well, yeah. So I mean, that's coming. Like, you're just starting to see more and more of us being represented in such an awesome light.
Right.
So
one of the reasons I was so excited, this is a side note, this has had nothing to do with Woman King, but Awaju, is that what it's called?
Awaju. Let me see the word. Let me see.
I already took it down, sorry. But one thing that made me excited
We're learning.
My son, you know, I'm American, but his father is Nigerian. Like, he's half and half. I want him to like see representation of our culture. Like, he lives in America, but you know, he may not know everything about his Nigerian side other than what like his dad, his uncles, and what he hears from like his grandparents who call him have to say. But like, I think it's a good representation of that side of his life that he can watch and see and, you know, get inspired from. Like, so I want him to be proud of not only being African American, but also be proud of being Nigerian. Like, he's Nigerian American, is that what you call it? I don't know. Something like that.
He's Nigerian American.
Okay, well.
But you know, I think
that's
really awesome that you're talking about being African American, but he's African American, but with, like, he has a connection. He's not just African American. You know, African is, that's like so broad, right? Like, he actually has a direct link. Like, I'm Nigerian.
It's not just African, it's Nigerian.
Right, so.
Like that specifically.
Yes, and Yoruba at that. So, yeah, I think that's dope too. You know, I was talking, side note too, I was talking to my friends and we were talking about having children. Neither one of us currently have children. And I said, one of the things that I really like, first off, I pray that I get to have children. I pray that happens for me. And if it does, I was telling her that I expect my children to go to Nigeria and spend a summer. Like, I fully hope that happens because I'm like, they need to see that. And the only reason they need that direct link, because, you know, I didn't have that with my dad. You know, I didn't have that connection with him. So, like, there's his whole side of the family that I know nothing about. So I would hate for my son to miss out, or children's son or daughter, miss out on that. You know what I'm saying? So I was saying, like, I would hope that.
Existence, girl.
I was saying, it's because you said you had a son. That's what came up. But,
well, that's all I got.
But, yeah, like, I was saying, like, I hope that they definitely have that connection. So, yeah, I think that's pretty dope.
Right, and I think that's a good segue into one of the next points I wanted to make about the movie, which basically is the Ogoji community helped each other. They were like, there was a sense of community where I could see it with my husband's family. Like, they like to help each other. There's a sense of community. Right.
Strong. Let me reiterate. Very, very strong sense of community. I mean, seriously, like their house, like anybody's house is your house. Basically, you come and, you know.
Yeah, she lives here. Basically.
Yeah, right. You come, you know. The only thing I don't have is a key.
Yeah.
But my husband has a key.
We need to take that. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But anyway, throughout the movie, there were scenes that showed like the women, the Ogoji women, the warrior tribe, where they were like in a home setting. And it showed them like it looked like they were sisters. Basically, it was like sisterhood, where they were helping each other. They were doing each other's hair. They were tending to the wounds, like when they were from battle wounds. They were like teaching each other things. Like, there was definitely like a sense of community. So, and I also noticed like there were a few scenes where they went out to battle, and then when they returned from battle, like the whole kingdom was like waiting for them. And they were like kind of like marching in side by side, and they're still in their uniform, and they were kind of looking at them like with a sense of pride. Like, even the kids were out, adults, everyone like stopped what they were doing, and they kind of like looked at them like, oh, our people are back. So basically, this made me think that what if our community here were like this? What if there was like a sense of pride? What if we had community? What if we were able to come together? Now, there are some circumstances where that is possible, but most times it's hard. Like, there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of, you know, people just don't like each other. There's conflict.
Right.
But like, I'm just imagining like, what
I think we talked about that like a while back.
Right, I think so. That sounds familiar. And then one takeaway I was thinking about, which you kind of already touched on, is like our husbands have that sense of community. So I can see, like, you know, this is also a West African country, present-day Benin.
Benin.
I always say it wrong, but anyway. But like, it shows like where they get it from. You know, like that. There's still that sense of culture, that sense of togetherness, that sense of I'll help you out, you fall down, I help you up, that kind of thing. Which I would definitely think that here in America we need more of, like that sisterhood, brotherhood. That is just one of my takeaways. Like, they definitely had a sense of community. Community is one thing that
I definitely agree with you on that, and piggybacking off of that, like, I definitely agree. Like you said, like, one thing being married into this family, and I'm not even gonna just say this family, because I think it goes beyond that, because even if they're not directly related, they still look out for each other. You know, even if
they're all brothers, even though they're not really brothers.
They're all right. And like you see that, like I know, like even this last time with the fashion show, you know, just going out and helping.
Right, there's support.
There's extremely supportive, extremely familial. It's very much a community. And, you know, we say it would be nice to see more of that, but I'll say, like, I even think, even though, like, looking at my own family, like my mother and whatnot, like, I wish we had more of that communal. We do to an extent, but it's very immediate. It's not like just like anybody, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I definitely like agree with you that it would be nice to see more of that amongst, you know, American culture. Definitely.
Right. So, you have anything else? I can go to my next takeaway from the movie.
Oh, go ahead.
Alright, so my next takeaway involves the king of the Dahomey tribe. His name was King, I'm not sure how to say this, it's Ghezo, Gezo?
I don't know.
And they might have said it in the movie, but some of the accents were like kind of thick, so I might have missed that. But it's definitely worth watching a third time, because I did definitely watch it twice. But anyway,
yeah, you're right. I see it. He's in my notes.
yeah, he was the king of the Dahomeys as it was portrayed in the movie. So I don't know if it was like a different time period or whatever, but during that time of the movie. There was kind of like a David and Goliath moment in the movie where he said something. He said, sometimes a mouse can take down an elephant. And
I love that.
And I kind of went like, But just to go into detail, and I'm kind of looking at my notes here. It basically was a scene where the king was speaking to Oba Adi, who was of the Oyo kingdom. He's the leader of their kingdom. And he's
the Yoruba kingdom.
Yeah, that one. And he's telling him that even though the Dahomey kingdom is small, they can still take on their kingdom, which was a lot larger. So basically he made this statement, and I'm like, I'm like taken aback, like, no, he didn't say that. Like, go ahead, like, what's gonna happen
it's
next?
Like the powerful recognizing that, even a rock can make a ripple. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I just thought that message was powerful, and it kind of set the stage for the audience, like, when watching the movie, just to see the two sides of the competition. Like it's you kind of can't see how big the Dahomey is just from looking at them, because they look like a big community, big kingdom, but like you don't know, like they're like a mouse and the other is like a elephant until he actually says this, until he makes this point. And then I just think like it sends a message that even though someone or something may be small, it can still be mighty. So that's definitely a point where I'm like, So that was another takeaway that I had from the movie, when I love that part of the movie when he said, even or sometimes a mouse can take down an elephant, and you just get this picture in your head of this little teeny weeny mouse and then this big elephant, like
David and Goliath moment, like you said. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that part. And then I just have one more takeaway, but do you have something to add before?
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay, so we may revisit this after she watches the movie, but
I'm even more so one to watch
I think is like, anyway, let me go ahead, because I'm getting excited, and when I get excited, I start to talk and kind of not say the words that I'm thinking before well, anyway, y'all know. Alright, so another takeaway I have in the movie is Viola Davis's character, who is Nanisca, or is Nanisca, which I'm maybe not pronouncing correctly. Basically what happens is, all throughout the movie, she keeps getting flashbacks of a time where she was once in battle. I think it was the Oyo, the Yoruba tribe. She was battling that tribe, and I guess at some point during one of the battles, she was captured, and she was held hostage by their tribe. It kind of has something to do with like the enslavement and slave trade part of it, where they were keeping some, letting some go, or giving them away as slaves. But basically, she gets these flashbacks of that time where she's being held hostage and she's being tied down and raped. So she has these all throughout the movie. At different times you'll see her, and it's she's raped by the leader of the Oyo tribe, whose name is, let's see if I can find it here, Again, it's Oba, O-B-A, who's the head of their tribe. So.
Okay. So, I'm gonna keep going. Just restart yours.
So, she's being raped by Oba, who is the leader of the Oya tribe. So, as the movie progresses, we're given clues to know that the person who raped her is this man. It's not at first apparent, but as the movie goes on, we know it's him. And then, basically, I don't want to give away too much of the movie because she hasn't watched it yet.
I'm gonna watch it regardless.
Okay, so
even
basically,
if you give a spoiler alert, you're all right.
So basically, as a result of the rape, she birthed a child, which nobody knows about, but I guess one person, because one person helped her give the child away as an orphan. She orphaned the child, and she doesn't know anything that happens with the child, but Nawi, who was the girl who was offered in marriage to this guy.
Is her daughter.
Yes. She comes to find out that is her daughter.
Oh my goodness.
But the reason why she figures it out is when the girl is first born, it shows her giving birth, she cuts a hole in her back. So if she puts in there a shark tooth, she has a shark tooth on her necklace, she takes a piece off, puts it in the hole that she just sliced in this newborn baby's back. So when Nawi comes to the tribe, she doesn't immediately notice. But as time goes on and she becomes an Agoji warrior, they're tending to each other's wounds, they're looking at their arms and whatnot, and she turns around and she sees this scar on her back almost in the same place, or basically in the same place because it's her, that she cut her baby as a child. She finds out that Nawi was orphaned, and then she starts putting two and two together. Viola Davis' character puts together, she was orphaned, she has a scar on her back. So there's a point in the movie where she cuts her back open and she finds a shark tooth in her back.
Oh my goodness.
And that's a realization point. But anyway, I say all this to say that it was a child that was between Viola Davis' character and the leader of this Oyo, the Yoruba tribe that they were fighting because he had raped her. So towards the end of the movie, there is a point where the Agoji tribe is fighting the Oyo tribe, and she said she wants him, this leader that had raped her years before. She wants to be the one that gets him, who attacks him, who kills him. She's out for blood. But basically, my takeaway from this is it's her, these flashbacks that she keeps having. It's those that give her the strength to overpower this big guy. It's that gives her this strength. So she, there's a time where he knocks her down and whatnot, but she eventually overtakes him and stabs him with the knife that he's holding actually. And it's that strength that she uses from these flashbacks to overpower him, and then they're victorious in the end. But my takeaway is that adversity, I should say, was the source of her strength. That struggle that she kept getting flashbacks on was the source that helped her stab him and get him.
So yeah, I'm watching this.
Agoji, and then chant Agoji is the name of their warrior tribe. It's a powerful ending. So I think for sure, as the movie progresses, it gets more. There's just hidden messages that I find in there where I'm
So let me ask you on I'm gonna do a Rotten Tomatoes on you. So on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, where do you rank the movie?
I thought it was. I love the movie. I thought it was a really good movie. I'd probably say 4.
Oh, okay, that's still pretty high.
Yeah, I don't want to give it a 5 because I don't think it was perfect. Although it was a very good movie, don't get me wrong, but I just want to leave some room for growth. Yeah.
So let me ask you, because of the other comments, the criticisms I've seen, did that affect your takeaway from the movie at all?
to be honest, I didn't read any criticism. I will go back and look at them, but I didn't honestly read any criticism. I just looked up like the tribe, what they were about. I didn't look at any reviews of the movie.
Well, I mean, just now that you know, like that, you know, there's some, not all the facts are in the movie, of course. There's no way they could put a whole, you know, a whole story.
I don't think it
full
took
of
away
facts.
from it at all. I think it was portrayed as a powerful women warrior regime, or whatever you want to call it. Like they were seen as powerful. Like they walked with knives in their hands, sticking them, like they were powerful. Like it made them look really good. Like I don't think it takes away from it.
You know what? I haven't even seen it, and I would almost agree with you. And here's the thing, like the only reason I say it is because, you know, I feel like, you know, this is Hollywood. This is Hollywood. They, at the end of the day, they want to sell seats, right? They want to sell tickets because these people got to be paid for all this work they put in to create the movie, right? But one thing I think is beautiful about film is that if it's done correctly, like it leaves room for the audience's interpretation, right? It doesn't give everything away. And I think that's a beautiful part of storytelling that comes from film, is that, you know what I'm saying, it should leave you with your own interpretation, your own curiosity about what could have happened or what may happen, or again, make you go to the library or on the internet and pull up Britannica or Encyclopedia or whatever and try to find out more about the tribe that, you know, that, or whatever, the character that was brought to you. Prime example, Pocahontas and John Smith. We know that is very Hollywood, very much fabricated all of that story. For sure. You know what I'm saying? But you do know that Pocahontas really existed and that there was a captain named John Smith, and you know, you do know that these people existed, but not in the way that the story's told, right? So
right, and I think a lot of times they do it that way for entertainment purposes.
Of course, yeah.
To make it more appealing to people. Not that the original was probably not as appealing, but like people are going to want to see something, you know, creative. So I think that's one reason why they do it that way.
People want the truth, but they don't want the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want a shadow of the truth. They want one side of the truth, and then entertain us for the rest, because, you know, I guess, you know, lies can be quite boring. You know what I'm saying? If they just knew that, you know, John Smith probably ended up catching malaria or something and died, or, you know, it wasn't as romantic. People like fantasy and they like romantic, you know, things to be romanticized, right?
They make it appealing to the audience.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
People are going to want to watch it. They're going to want to talk about it.
Like if we really saw the story of Pocahontas, we wouldn't be watching the Disney movie and paying attention to the tree that sung to her and told her all of this stuff, right? So, I mean, you wouldn't be entertained, so.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I definitely recommend, if you've not seen the movie, definitely give it a try.
More of these. Sorry.
Okay.
We should definitely do more reviews.
For sure.
But yeah, sorry, I don't mean to, that just made me really excited, because I was like, this is our first, you know, review of just a film, you know, which I think is, you know, a nice segue into something different than what we've been doing, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Gives us something to talk about that we can actually go and see.
Right.
So, definitely agree.
Yeah.
And then, there are other movies out there, so please.
Yeah. Speaking of these, so I have.
Have you watched it?
No, but I have it on. You know, I get the little red box on the TV, right? $20 to watch it.
Oh.
I get $20.
Well, you know, it's on the thing too.
Of course.
Me
you know, I don't have
my
it.
son and I were
They got connections.
I mean, we'll just leave it at that.
They got connections. $20 on the red box to watch that. I'm like,
yeah. I was actually trying to stream it on like what is it, Vudu, which is from Fandango, I think. And it was like it wasn't available to stream, but when it does come out, like you can pre-order it for $19.99.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'd rather go to the movie theater.
Nah, $20, okay, I'll buy it.
Right.
But I ain't paying $20 just to rent it.
It's crazy, these prices, like inflation. It's crazy.
Well, guys, I mean,
That's all I have. My little takeaways and
that's all I got. I'm gonna be honest. I'm ready to get out of this eyeshadows. But yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. If you were able to join us, and yeah, stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed recording this, so stay tuned for the next episode. And who knows? I don't know what we're gonna do next, but maybe something similar.
As always, you can always reach us by reaching out at stilldiamondspodcast@gmail.com. You can check out our social media pages on Facebook and on Instagram. I almost said Amazon. I was saying Amazon. Yeah, on Instagram and Facebook, Still Diamonds Podcast.
Right. Don't forget to check us out where you view your or listen to your podcast, I should say, on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts,
We're like in 6 different platforms. Yeah.
Anchor and Spotify. But yeah, all the platforms. Just search and it should be available.
Yeah. Definitely reach out to us. Let us know what you think, what you like to talk about, what you know. Again, I think like we said when we started this, we were, just trying to spark up conversation. So, yeah, let us know. And I guess we'll see you on the next one round.
Yeah. See you next week.
I'm Shell.
And I'm Kat.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.